Alright, here we have another Town Hall 11 base. As you can see, we have a max Eagle, we have max defenses, we have max Infernos. So outside of the walls, this base is maxed. We also have a high level Queen. She's at 37 and the King's at 23. So the heroes are a little bit lacking, but for the purposes of this attack, we're showing you here is, again, another way to take down a Town Hall 11 base. Now, this particular attack did not get 2 stars. We got 1 star. The rage was dropped a bit early and probably out of place, and the Valks did not use it. Other than that, it probably would have gotten 2 stars fairly easy. But this is an attack where we're going to show you how not to go after the Eagle with the Queen Walk and still possibly get 2 stars. Now the key to that is you need to get a lot of value out of your Queen Walk before you start dropping other troops, otherwise the Eagle will activate. And when the Eagle activates, you do need to have those Valks going down fairly quickly after that. So again, what we're going to do here is we're going to look, there's 1 Inferno, there's a 2nd Inferno, kind of draw a line, and we're going to say to ourselves, okay, where do we want to start? We probably want to start somewhere down in this area with the Queen Walk, and hopefully, again, get about this and this secured with either the Queen Walk and or the King and the Valks. Alright. So, again, with this base here, we are now going to start looking and say, okay, where are my ADs that are going to target my healers? We have 1 here. We got 1. Oh, there we go. We got 1 here. We have 1 up here by the Queen, and we have 1 here. We also have an air sweeper facing that way, which is great for us. And the other air sweeper is, I'll find it eventually. Or maybe not. Maybe they only have the 1. Oh, there it is. So there's the other air sweeper. So if we're going to be attacking here from like 7 o'clock position, both air sweepers are non-factor, so we don't have to worry about that. We do want to say this AD down here is within 6 spaces either side of that wall. So pretty much no matter where we enter, whether it's here or here, the AQ will target the AD and not have, and we won't have to worry about our healers getting destroyed. So all we got to do is worry about air mines at that point. So let's get underway with our strategy. This base actually has holes in it. It has a hole here, has a hole here, it's got a hole here. So what we're going to do is we're going to obviously take advantage of that, and we are just going to drop the Queen inside of that that area, that hole. So what we'll do is probably drop our Queen somewhere right here, the healers behind, and once these defenses start targeting the Queen, we'll go ahead and drop our wall breakers also right here to bust through that wall, because we want to eventually get the Queen in there. Now, with the Queen doing that, we're going to put a baby dragon up here and over here to get the camp and the elixir collector, so the AQ or the King and Valks don't walk around the base, because that's the last thing we want, is anything to walk around the base. And once we get that, we're gonna rage when needed. I forget at this attack, but I believe we used 2 rages, and we probably could have used a 3rd rage. But we're gonna save the rage, the freeze and the jump for the Valks at the end. So anyway, we're gonna break in. The Queen's actually gonna take out these defenses here, which is actually really good value, getting 5 quick defenses out of the way. But the problem with that is, as you can see, we have a whole bunch of stuff that's not high value that's going to eat up a lot of our time to get out of the way, while we do have the Expo just teeing off on our queen the entire time. But again, it's not an attack that you have to worry about time. You really have to kind of worry about just creating the funnel and then getting the core and the town hall. Again, we're going to drop our king once the queen has gotten most of this stuff out of the way. We're going to drop our king, same spot, the CC Valks, same spot, and hopefully they will head this way and start clearing out this area and this stuff. And once again, once they get to about here, we will then go ahead and start dropping our Valks with the jump. And again, like I said earlier, the freeze was a little bit early, so, or I mean the rage was a little bit early. So we dropped the jump here, and we actually dropped all the Valks right here, and they actually didn't go towards the jump, except they went this way, and the rage we dropped was, I believe, like right here. So they didn't really get to the rage at all until late in the game. But by then it was just about over. The town hall did not go down. We did have one baby dragon to get down, but and you'll see in the video here shortly, this Inferno right here got him before he can get the town hall. Alright, let's go to the video and check it out. Alright, here's the attack, and we're going to drop the healers first, just to get them down. They won't move anywhere until the queen pops into play. So the healer goes down. We use the rage real quick because we have the double cannon there and the max archer tower for Town Hall 11, which is pretty big. So that kind of constitutes like 3-point defenses. So we get the baby dragons on the camp and the collector. They help funnel her into the core. And we have the expo starting to tee off on us. We have the cannon going. We're not going to use a rage because now we have the king. When the king gets into play, then we're really going to have to be worried. Again, we dropped the rage probably a little bit premature. I thought the king was going to engage her quicker, but the rage also helps the queen get through some of that stuff a little bit more expeditiously than she would have normally. But here comes the king. Again, we don't have any rage to give, so we kind of wasted that there. We kind of got lucky that the king was already down on health due to the baby dragon. As you can see, a max expo is not going to keep up with 5 healers on the queen. Here come the miners. The CC, or poison goes down for the CC. Again, we would want to use a rage here if we had it. We don't have it. The king and Valks are going to go down. They're going to target the miners, and then as soon as the miners go away, they're going to hang that left-hand turn, which is where we wanted them to go to begin with. So we use the ability for the queen. We needed to get her and get that stuff out of the way, and also we wanted her to take out the enemy queen. The king and the CC Valks, they're doing their job. They're clearing that left area path. Now we're going to drop the jump, and as you can see, we're going to drop the wall breakers just to double make sure. We got one Valk going to that elixir collector, then we drop the rest of them, and then what happens is we drop the rage, and the Valks just stay behind it. So they're not really using the rage, and the freeze did its job, but by that time, the Valks really weren't where they needed to be. And then they finally get to the town hall, and they get to the Inferno, they get to the Eagle, but the rage is gone. So at that point, it is kind of a fail if you're thinking that we needed to get the 2-star. We got one baby dragon left, so we're just going to go ahead and drop it towards the town hall and hope for the best. As you can see, we're not going to get it. The Inferno Tower and the air mine. If the air mine didn't pop up, we would have gotten the town hall. So it was kind of unfortunate. But as you can see, we're at 57%, and if we got the Valks in there with the rage, it would have been well over 60% up against a town hall 11. So anyway, it's a successful attack that actually did go awry just because of a misplaced rage spell or the Valks not listening. But as you can see, that's the potential for the attack, high percentage, and 2-star Town Hall 11.